or we could not. Let's Be Cops was directed by Luke Greenfield, stars Damon Wayans Jr. and Jake Johnson, and tells the story of two best friends who are kind of down on their luck. They're not doing very well in their careers or whatever, and they end up dressing up like cops for a costume party, and then they realize that people actually think they are cops, and so they continue to pretend to be cops. Now it's the end of August, so studios are dumping out all their summer movies that weren't good enough to put in June or July, and it's starting to show. I mean, almost every movie I've reviewed this month, I gave a either negative or mediocre review, and this is no exception. Let's Be Cops is not a great movie. It's not very funny. It's really not that interesting, and that's kind of depressing because they're trying really hard, and I'll give them that. It's not like a lazily slapped together comedy or action movie, which you see a lot and it's kind of upsetting, but they're trying, and I'll give them that. It just doesn't work. From the beginning, I'd say the biggest problem is the screenplay, because there's not much there at all. A lot of the actual dialogue was improvised, and so the screenplay is just kind of a framework, and it's very, very lazily put together. There's a lot of information dumps, like there'd be like, oh, did you know that I was a football player and I got an injury and now I can't be pro and now I'm very sad about that. It's just very, very in your face. It's not subtle at all, and it just kind of gets right in there, and it's annoying, actually. It kind of makes you feel dumb. I don't really know why. This entire movie is kind of resting on the two leads. Jake Johnson, like I said, he's really, really trying, and for that reason, like, he was likable, and he wasn't all that funny, but he was probably the best part of the movie. He was really giving it his all, and it could really show. Damon Wayans was similarly trying very, very hard, but his results were less favorable. Like, he was just not that funny, not interesting. Like, he was kind of, I'm the best friend, and that's all he really had to do. He even has a love interest who, the romance is so cookie cutter, so lazy and so superfluous, it could be completely cut and not change the movie at all. There are a few like minor performances that are funny, just small parts, like Keegan-Michael Peele was funny, and Rob Riggle was funny. They're always funny, but like their parts weren't big enough to really change the direction of the movie. Yeah, obviously it's a comedy, and the biggest problem is that it's not all that funny. I mean, there are some funny situations. If you saw the trailer, you saw pretty much the funniest parts, and other than that, it's just kind of weird and nonsensical, because it's so stupid, because the second they're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't be cops, and they're just like, nah. They're like, oh, it's illegal, we could go to prison for 3 years and pay tons of money. They're just like, nah. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I give Let's Be Cops a C-. I really don't recommend seeing it, but if you really want to, go for it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.